When I was younger and learning how to ride, my father would, who was a rider, would tell me to... Horseback riding.
Okay.
Right. When I was riding and I was learning how to jump, and he would say, when you jump, you throw your heart over the fence and your horse will follow. And so we were sort of in the same place where we had a dream, and we threw that dream across the dance floor, and on we followed it because that's what we needed to do, and everybody came along with us.
There were a lot of hearts being thrown across that dance.
There were.
Tapestry Folkdance Center is dancing, music, community. But Tapestry is also a place, a building dedicated to dance, where our communities come together and where 2 dance studios with sprung maple dance floors make it a pleasure to dance all night. This building exists because the dance community created it, through their dreams and commitment, and through thousands of hours of volunteer work and thousands of dollars of financial support. Tapestry had no plans to buy a building. Since 1987, we had danced in rented space at Sabathani Community Center. The space was far from ideal. No air conditioning, problems with sound quality, and some serious ceiling issues.
Summertime, what would happen is you'd get a Contra dance and people would really get going, and there'd be all this moisture generated and all this heat generated, and the plaster would start falling off the ceiling.
Yeah.
It would fall off the ceiling and fall onto the floor in big chunks.
I remember that.
But in general, the space was working as a home for Tapestry's many dance communities.
And then we received the lease, which basically tripled our rent and cut our hours in half, I think it was, which made it totally financially unfeasible for us.
And a committee formed looking for rental space.
Right.
And hoping we could find
Boy,
something.
we checked out
40 places.
different places, and there just wasn't anything really that was going to work very effectively for our needs.
Board President Lisa Strong noticed a building that was for sale, and the board decided to go for it.
All the people kind of added little pieces, and they said, well, we really have 2 choices. We can stay at Sabathani. It's going to be terrible, and Tapestry may just disappear, or we can buy this building and take on this huge financial burden, and if we're not successful, we could go bankrupt, and Tapestry would disappear. And people said, well, okay, on one hand, Tapestry could disappear, on the other hand, Tapestry could disappear, but on the one hand, we didn't try, on the other hand, we gave it all we got.
So the commitment was made and the fundraising began.
So then we developed a brochure and just started working on that. And it was sort of, I think if we had known what we needed to do, we never would have started. But it was sort of underway and happening and rolling before we really had a chance to think. I remember one day we spent the whole day just opening envelopes and taking checks out and getting the deposit ready. Beth and I did that for a couple of days. That's all we did was get checks. And it was amazing to do that.
As the money came in, plans for gutting and remodeling the building began to take shape.
These are the original plans that Bill Jacobson, the architect, wrote up, that I took to City Hall to get the permit for.
And
there was a dealership in the front.
It was a dealership in the front originally. The original use of the
And the
building.
floor was concrete and
Well, there was a
slanted.
drain.
So there were drains. Yeah, there were drains. So it slanted. It slanted
More than
to
slant,
all
yes.
the
Double slant.
yes to all edges. Offices in the front, so there were like these little tiny walls everywhere.
We thought, we could just take down a few walls and take down a few things in the back, and really it wouldn't be that hard to do. Just clean it up. It's not going to be that hard.
But it was hard. As anyone who has ever remodeled knows, there are constant surprises and always more work and cost than originally planned. But with the strong support of the entire dance community, the dream began to take shape.
I'm guessing that was probably the case before they did the building. That everybody had their own space. We were very lucky in that we had a lot of communities because of Saltari, because of what Ed Mala started, that all used as the same space.
All
It was
those
really
organizations
unique.
were also key in making sure that this building was going to be successful, because they were able
Right.
to say, yes, if you have a building, yes, we'll
We
rent,
will
yes,
come
we
with
will
you.
come.
Yes.
Yes, and most of those organizations gave money towards the
Yes.
purchase of the
Yes.
building.
Yeah.
With the help of a major anonymous donor and a large capital grant from the McKnight Foundation, Tapestry celebrated the opening of its new building in September 1999 with a Contra dance with wild asparagus.
The reason for having that, rather than just having a hall that you rent and put on a dance, which is probably what most folk dancing in other cities have done. You know, we actually have a place
home.
that you come to and you recognize people, you get to know them. All of a sudden you have a huge, huge social circle. And to me, that is the basic, that's the biggest benefit of having this building and making sure we have it, is to maintain that community, because you're not going to find that anywhere else. And that's the way it was, and still is.